We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more
Can I
swords
help
for
you?
the Imperial soldiers.
Aye, that I do. I've got to, if I hope to be as good as Yorland Greymane someday. In fact, I just finished my best piece of work. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl, Balgroof the Greater. It's a surprise. I don't even know if he'll accept it, but... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? He's the Jarl's steward. He'll know the right time to present it to him. Thanks. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Welcome to Bellathor's General Goods. Welcome indeed. Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Do come back. I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke. Now that I think on it, I do. There's nobody to hunt down the bandits, what with all that's been going on. I'm sure you can handle some bandits, right? Thank you. I will not forget this. Remember, I'll give you the best deals or die trying.
Those who can't hunt, mine. Those who can't mine, farm. And those who can't farm, they become merchants.
Foolish old woman. You know nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Nothing.
Fresh-baked loaves.
What of myself?
Still warm from the oven.
Tired friends. Had enough of fish and fowl. Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak.
Your son chose his side. He chose poorly.
Got a pretty stock of potions and alchemy reagents. What can I help you with, my friend? So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the restoration school, but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed. Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20! I have several elixirs for sale. I offer remedies for ailments both common and rare. Do let me know if I can be of service. Come back.
Baubles for sale, all crafted by the best.
We'll rule Skyrim forever!
Well, there's no telling what it means. I only counsel caution. We cannot afford to act rash. My lord, please. This is no time for rash action.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
Well, that explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? By Ysmir, Irileth was right! What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains...
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons. Farengar, I think I've found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. You are eager to begin your adventure. Excellent. The sooner begun, the sooner done, eh? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College of Winter.
You have something to say to the Jarl.
Need it quickly,
say it with your own tongue.
Before it's too late.
Of course, Jarl.
What do you need? Just leave me all the food.
Whiterun will be in your tent.
Let's go.
What's on your mind? Take whatever you need. Let's go.
Yeah? Right. All right.
Our stores of meat, wine, and grain are all but depleted.
Purchase more supplies then. That's your job as steward, isn't it? Why do you trouble me with these?
My lord, since Ulfric's Stormcloak's uprising, the cost of goods has doubled. I'll need more coin if I'm to provision us properly.
Our coffers are nearly empty. I can scarcely afford to pay the guards. We need every one of them in these troubled times. You'll have to make do with what we have, Proventus.
Yes, my... I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. From Adrian? Ah, this must be that weapon for the Jarl. Poor girl. So eager to prove herself. I'll present it to Balgruuf when his mood is agreeable. Thank you. Please, take these few coins for services rendered. Enjoy your visit to Dragonsmead.
Yeah? Alright then. Just leave me all the food. Alright then.
If you'd asked, I'd have moved.
Watch what you're doing.
Thank you, thank you. No, please, hold your applause. One more, what say you? Yeah? Oh,
Helgen, destroyed by a dragon. Hard to believe, isn't it?
once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead. And the braggart did swagger and...
Come on in. Let me know it. Need anything, or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar.
They say
when he
that.
met the
Sure
sheriff,
thing, it's yours for a
who
day.
said, "Lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." And so then came clashing and slashing of steel. Ugly redhead rolled around on the floor.
Spare.
Patrons of the fat. Mayor.
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that thieves' den. I can't stop now, and I can't get the sword on my own.
So you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. You won't starve.
I'll put it plainly. You can claim your sword, or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate, I won't be here when you return.
Saphir. Wait, Hello, friend. Ha! Neither are you, eh? Good to see another Red Guard. I'd like to think we bring a little heat to this frozen wasteland. My Saphir doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. My wife's a good woman. She can be a little hard-headed sometimes, but I love her just the same. I'm a mercenary. You tried mercenary work? It might suit you. Got a loving wife, my daughter, and a patch of land to call my own. What more can a man ask for? Sometimes I miss the soldier's life, but when I hold my daughter in my arms, I know I made the right choice. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
You are elders, sharing the heaven.
One of the perks of fighting in the arena is everyone in the city knows your name. Some people don't like the fame.
Today, they take away your faith.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. It is simply energy to be harnessed by those with the will and knowledge to do so. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them for one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense. Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them. Off to Bleak Falls.
Tell me, do you believe in mighty Arche, god of life and death? I'm glad to know that because I need your help. You see, I've lost something precious. My amulet of Arche. It's the source of my divine powers and also a sacred badge of office. I misplaced it in the catacombs. I'd look for it, but I have been hearing noises down there. I fear the dead have become restless. Without that amulet, I'm powerless to confront them. Would you be willing to search for it? I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacombs. The blessing of Arche be upon you.
Yes? I study corpses. I am, after all, a priestess of Kinnereth. On the contrary, I'm doing independent research on the nature of death.
Yes?
I think we need more light in here.
If we can better understand how an injury or illness kills, we'll be more adept at applying a remedy. Although, given the state of the temple, I can see why you'd mistake a healer for an undertaker. I do find humor to flex the more unsavory aspects of handling bodies. For instance, in Eastmarch, there's a priestess of Arcane named Helgerd. She was a lot funnier than me. Smarter too. She could pinpoint the cause of death by studying the corpse's exterior. She could determine the time by markers of decay. 2 reasons, really. The Temple of Kinnereth, and the ample supply of bodies. It allows me to conduct my research while still upholding my duties as a priestess. Of course, the corpses here aren't the only specimens worth study. There's also the men. Guards have been telling travelers to watch the skies. In the past 2 weeks, 2 separate adventurers have been felled by mudcrabs. Farewell.
I spend so much time among the dead, I sometimes forget how much I miss the company of the living. Oh, thank Arcane! Please, take this gold for your troubles.
More traders used to travel to Whiterun before the Civil War began, and they stopped coming because the roads became dangerous.
feel honest.
Excuse me. Before my ma and Da passed, I told them that one day I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future? Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Matter of fact, I do. They've been fair enough with me, far as I can tell, and a Nord knows a liar when she sees one. Farewell.
Yes? What is it? Of course.
Life's hard enough with all these men propositioning me. But that bard is the worst. That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any harsh beast. Huh! If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that thick skull of his, though.
The finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Every day.
That Heimsker's crazy. Him and his tall Katalos. We should just shut up. Only if I can help it. But damn if I ain't almost sober. Hey, in the Bannered Mare, there's this bottle of Argonian ale. The good stuff. Get it for me. They won't even know it's gone. Come on. Argonian ale. I can almost taste it. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out.
We drink to our youth, till days come and gone. For the age of aggression is just about done. We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. With our blood and our steel we will... If it's a lady you're looking for, you best look elsewhere. Once Mikhail gets them, they're got. Carlotta put you up to this, didn't she? I'm sorry, but that fiery widow is mine. She just doesn't know it yet. Maybe you're right. I guess I just didn't want anyone to think I couldn't handle one lass. On my honor, I won't bother Carlotta ever again. There's a whole college up in Solitude where they teach the arts. Song, lute playing, poetry. I studied there myself. Had to leave over a misunderstanding with a head mistress. Well, more a misunderstanding with her husband. Some parting advice? Women love...
I'll have 4 bottles of wine with juniper berries, 7 bottles of Alto, and a venison with bitter green sauce.
Want a drink?
Good to see you. Well, would you look at that? Argonian ale. My thanks, friend. Here, take this here healing potion. I, found it in the temple. Yes, yes. Now, find myself a drink.
Got a pretty good stock of potions and alchemy reagents. I have several elixirs for sale. Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on. A love elixir like none other. Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first. Oh, but I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice.
Want me to boil some tea?
No, thank you, dear.
Of course. I think I can teach you a thing or two. Take care of yourself.
The Jarl has finally agreed to send you back to Riverwood.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
How's it going? Of course. Good luck out there.
Need a ride? Only a hearty soul travels the road these days. My carriage is the safest way to travel. Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
Huh? Thank you. Here, this is for you. You're not supposed to be in here.
Huh? Thank you. Here, this is for you. It's true. For as long as I can remember, our crops have always done well. I'm not sure whether it's the soil, climate, or the favor of the divines, but we've never had a poor harvest. I want to be an adventurer like you. My father says I can't. He says he needs me to stay here and work the farm. And even if he did let me be an adventurer, we couldn't afford to buy armor. His name is Mralki, and he's the innkeeper here. I hope you could change his mind. Thank you. I can't stand the thought of being trapped in this village for the rest of my days.
Welcome to Rorikstead. How can I help you today? My son? Eric? What about him? Did something happen? Is he all right? But the world is a dangerous place. Eric has no idea what he's getting himself into. What's more, he's got no armor. I'll have to save up the money for it. I cannot deny the truth of what you say. Eric is all the family that I have left, but it's wrong to hold him back as I have. Go and tell Eric that I've changed my mind. I'll see about borrowing some money in Whiterun for his armor.
Listen to me, stranger, and listen well. The Khajiit caravans are not to be trusted. Sanyon says betrayers shave their rear ends to resemble the Nord ones they are fond of licking. But Zajira, she is loyal to the Talmor. Her rear end is not shaved. Zajira need not prove her loyalty. She has informed Sanyon many times of where to find Talos worshippers in exchange for fine skooma. Yes, Zajira does good work too. The bodies west of Riverwood, that was her doing. People come to pray to the false god. Zajira sometimes warns them that Talos is but a man. Yet still they pray. Zajira has no choice but to tell the saviors of their blasphemy. She thinks it would be best if they die. Then they can meet Talos in the next world, where he is just another man scratching himself and smelling his fingers. Yes, Zajira finds Talos worshippers and reports them to Sanyon. Right now, she is shadowing the one called Sonia. She is waiting for her to leave the inn and contact her fellow Talos worshippers. Zajira has waited a very long time. Zajira agrees, but these are not innocents. These are Talos worshippers. The saviors of the moon have stated they must be punished. Zajira does not like the killing so much, but as she has said before, sometimes the only way to open their eyes is to close them. All right. May your road lead you to warm sun.
Ah! Oh, you frighten me, traveler. You shouldn't just greet someone unexpectedly. So my brethren used to tell me, but I feel it's warranted. I don't care if Ulfric himself bent his knee and asked me to join the cause. I'm staying inside where it's safe and warm. Was a Stormcloak. Now I'm just an ordinary shut-in, never going to leave this inn, as long as Meralki is willing to have me. Maybe I can marry his son, and then they'll let me stay here forever. He's nice enough. Got good hair, good teeth, and the inn will be his when Meralki's gone, so I wouldn't have to pay for a better room. I'm cursed. It's been with me since I was a young child. It's the only explanation for what happened at Helgen. No, this was before. I'd just sworn the oath, but as one of the less talented sisters, I was tasked mostly with retrieving supplies from the city. It happened on a Morndas. I was traveling on the road west to Helgen when pearls of snow began to pelt my brow. I no sooner blinked when the snowstorm came thundering from above, except there was a piece of black crouched further down the road, a woman wearing a hooded robe, holding a small child. Indeed, I swore an oath to Ulfric Stormcloak, my brothers and sisters, but my oath to the gods came before this menial task. I called out to her. I was relieved when she stood up, but the relief was short-lived. She scurried off into the forest. It was no place for a child. The sun was dimming, and in the winter, the night is as fast as it is long. The air was cold, but not the kind of cold that pimples your skin. No, this cold was raw enough that you could feel it pass through your teeth, even when your mouth was closed. As I said, no place for a child. So I hurried after her. Best I could tell, she was headed towards Orphan Rock, the one place every Nord child in Helgen fears. There's a lot of tales parents tell their children to get them to eat their greens or pray to the divines. One of them is the story of the Haggraven of Orphan Rock. They used to say if you didn't pray to the Nine, Arkay would send the old hag to kidnap you in your sleep. The witches of Orphan Rock are said to be the grown-up versions of all the children who forgot their supper-time prayers. As a young woman grown, I've long since outlived such juvenile tales, but my hand couldn't help but reach for my weapon. Darkness set in. I bit my lip, trying to keep my focus on the woman and the child. I followed their tracks through the narrow passageway formed by the rock, but when I came out on the other side, the trail had vanished. I found myself standing in a plot of followed dirt, empty save a rock marker. I called out again to the woman, but there came no answer. Then I called out once more, and then came a reply. It was a knock, like knuckles rapping against a door, and with each knock, the noise grew louder. No, not louder, closer. I swiveled around, and in my panic I dropped my mace. It wasn't until I'd reached for it that I saw it. The snow jumping off the dirt, as if the knocking wasn't coming from behind me, but beneath. Higher and higher, until it was right under my feet. And that's when the clouds shifted, and the moonlight lit the marker in front of me. It wasn't a rock marker. It was a grave marker. I did what any sane Nord would have done. When I got back to the camp, the quartermaster demanded to know where I'd been and what had happened to the supplies. In truth, no explanation would suffice. It's just as well, because even I can't explain what was under my feet that night. Me too. It's such a haunting story. I think I soil myself every time I tell it. It's always been a part of me. You see, my mother told me that I nearly died in childbirth. As a result, part of my soul was close to the void, and the wandering dead were drawn to me in their confusion. Yet, she told me not to worry. As long as my heart was full of life, it would fill that empty part of my soul and ward off the dead. Her advice was unnecessary, as a child's spirit is as stout as Shore's bones. It wasn't until I was a girl of 12, my heart broken by a boy I loved, that at first I yearned for death. Yes, I thought he loved me, but I was nothing but a toy for his amusement. It cut deeper than any sword, and hurt me more than any loss I could ever experience as a woman grown. Funny as it is to say, there is nothing more emotionally wrenching than a young girl experiencing her first heartbreak. I wanted to die more than anything, and our case saw fit to grant my wish. Indeed, that night, as I lay in my bed, the air was so cold, and even in the middle of the sun's height, I huddled under the covers, trying to stave off the cold. I had reached a point where I felt I could sleep, when I heard it, the breathing. No matter how much I shrunk into my covers, I couldn't avoid that foul hiss, but I dared not look. Then came the sound of footsteps walking to my door. I was about to go into shock when I heard my mother's voice. I leapt out of bed and ran to the door, flinging it open, and there she was. My mother, holding a candle, and standing over her shoulder was a wraith. I suppose it was floating. I never bothered to look at its feet. I just closed my eyes and prayed.
It's kind of dark.
I asked Arcade not to take our souls and to fill my body with life. I asked Mara for her to bless my mother and to strengthen the bond between us. No, I'll starve to death first. I am a daughter of Skyrim. I don't fear death. I fear fear. And spiders. But everyone's afraid of crawlies. Until next time.
Did you have any luck talking to my father? I can't thank you enough, friend. I hope you'll come back to Rorikstead soon and pay me a visit. Maybe we can swap stories about our adventures over a mug of ale at the inn. Mm-hmm.
If you need a meal or room, I've got both. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Let me know if there's anything else you need. If you need a meal or room, I've got both.